Cheering for the demise of middle managers is partially because they have been poorly trained, selected, and poorly held accountable by executives. But there are also class dynamics here. Repeatedly in social hierarchies, we see people who are not at the top of the hierarchy and even closer to the bottom cheering when somebody else gets put in their place or sees the bottom, like mass firings. But this always backfires. The upper class has to do very little work to keep control of the class system because the way they've designed the system, the working classes do it mostly for them. And this happens at work too. People don't want to feel like they're at the bottom of the hierarchy, and they aspire to be at the top of the hierarchy. So they don't blame the top because they want to be there. They find someone more feasible to pull down, because when this group feels like they're farther from the top, you feel like you're closer to the top. And it's easy to blame middle managers because they have just enough power over you and they're who you see regularly that you can blame them for the problems. And that doesn't mean they shouldn't be held accountable. But they also don't have enough decision power to actually make as many changes organization wide. Now, I'm a big fan on that managers should do what's within their control. And I've worked with many of them on how to do this. And hell, I've been with myself. I've seen good ones, I've seen rough ones. But what drives me bonkers is when people attribute all the negativity to the middle managers without holding this and the culture, the larger corporate culture impacting all of this accountable. Because if you have an awful middle manager, who promoted and put them there? Who is evaluating their performance? Who's even deciding what that performance evaluation is? Those things aren't going away with this. It is a classic class technique that when a group up here messes up, to blame someone in the middle, and this one eats it up because they are willing to blame any other class ring. But what actually happens when you get rid of one is you're next on the chopping block. If what the real issue was above never was resolved. And when the people at the top telling you about these things are Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, who are notorious for labor abuse and privacy violations, etc., we need to be real careful about how we approach the problem, because I'm not denying there's not a management crisis. It's the solution that I'm challenging.